Welcome to week 6, day 2 of our e-learning lessons. Our performance task. I will need to be able to read parts of a story each day to answer comprehension questions. To answer them, I will need to go back into the text and support my answers with text evidence. At times, I will need to explain my answer to show that I really do understand what the questions are asking. Our essential questions for day 2. How can I read the story and answer comprehension questions? How can I tell more about what I am saying in my answers? In your assignments today, we're going to read pages 380 and 381 from Antarctic Journal, the reading that we started yesterday in our lesson. Antarctic Journal is like a diary. Each entry will be stated by a date and a location. Today's assignment, December 3rd, Litchfield Island. One of the larger islands offshore, Litchfield has a penguin rookery, or nesting area, on the gently sloping western edge. The ground is rocky, but flat enough for penguins to build nests, with the beach close by for gathering small gray nest stones. The rookery is occupied by 200 or 300 penguins. It's small for penguin standards. The penguins are nearly all Undulese, named in 1838 by Dumont d'Urville, after his wife. I wonder, did they look like her, act like her, or was he just missing her? Pairs greet each other at the nest with calls like braying donkeys. They rub chests and bellies, flap wings, stretch necks, and reach for the sky with their bills, behavior called ecstatic display. On page 381, I find a sheltered perch by the rookery and put my 6-pound metal typewriter on a flat rock. The penguins begin to wander over. They huddle close, smelling of guano and salt water, gently tugging at my clothing with their bills. One bold bird takes my hat and goes off with it. They are curious about the tap-tap-tapping noise of the typewriter. They walk up and across it, tugging at the paper, tucked into the roller. I let them have their way. Human visitors may not touch penguins or any wildlife, but the penguins can take their time checking us out. I follow penguins stone collecting, real work for an Adelaide. They carry one stone at a time in their bills. It requires hundreds of trips to complete a nest. Placing a stone takes time. With the stone in its bill, the penguin circles the nest, bowing like a butler, finally deciding where the stone is needed most. The bird drops it and shuffles away to the beach for another. If one penguin steals a stone from another, a noisy argument erupts. Frustrated birds shriek like squabbling children, but they never come to blows. In our photograph, we see penguins in our caption, Adelaide Penguin. We have some questions that go with this assignment today. The questions for our day 2 assignments. You have 4 comprehension questions that go with the assignment we just read on those 2 pages, on pages 380 and 381. I'll do the first 2 with you, and then I'll ask you to please finish up the rest of the questions on your own. Number 1 asks, what is a rookery and what does a rookery need? If we go back into the reading, we're looking for what a rookery is. In the very first part of the reading for December 3rd, Litchfield Island, one of the larger islands offshore Litchfield has a penguin rookery, or nesting area. So we know a rookery is a nesting area for penguins, and we know what a nest is. A nest is something that will eventually hold eggs. They're babies. But we also have to look at the second part of the question, what does a rookery need? When we think about it, what it needs, it definitely needs a rocky area. It needs to be flat, and it needs to be close to a beach. And the stones need to be close by as well. So question number 1, what is a rookery? A rookery is a nesting area for penguins. What does a rookery need? I'm going to use some of those same words in the question. A rookery needs flat ground, comma, near a beach, comma, and room for a lot of penguins. When we're thinking about those questions, we need to make sure we go back in the text and we provide text evidence, but we rewrite it in our own words. Number 2, and the final question we're going to do together, what are the context clues for a static meaning happy? So what clues let us know that that means happy? We look back in the reading, we can find those words in the text as we look at the last paragraph on page 380. Pairs greet each other at the nest with calls like braying donkeys. They rub chests and bellies, flap wings, stretch necks, and reach for the sky with their bills. Behavior called ecstatic display. So if we know that means happy, think about all the things that we know that's happening. We know that they're making noises like donkeys. We know that they rub their chests together. We know that they're flapping their wings and they're stretching their necks out and they're reaching for the sky. All of this tells us that they seem to be happy. In the text, it stated that the penguins were making lots of noises like donkeys, comma, rubbing their chests and bellies, stretching their necks towards the sky, and flapping their wings. Each of these events display that the penguin are happy. So by looking at the information that we have on number 2, the word is static display. What does it mean? In the text, it stated that the penguins were making lots of noises like donkeys, rubbing their chests and bellies, stretching their necks toward the sky, and flapping their wings. Each of these events display that the penguins are happy. With that information in mind, we went back and discovered some context clues to explain what does the word ecstatic mean. Yes, it means happy, but now we have our context clues to prove that it means happy. Your assignment is to finish up questions 3 and 4. And then also, you're going to do the summary for 4 is the summary. So 3, why does the author give such, that is a mistake that I had on yours just to say give such a detailed description of the penguins building their nests? So why does the author give so much detail about it? Think about what the author's purpose is at this island. Why is the author there? Why is Patricia there with a typewriter and pencils and paper and pens? So think about that reason. Question number 4, summarize the journal entry on pages 380 and 381 called December 3rd, Litchfield Island. So tell me what was the most important event on this. That's your first sentence. What was the most important part? And then your second part of the assignment that I need you to give me is details. Why was that the most important? You have a short reading called Talking About Penguins by Guy Bellarante. Read the assignment about penguins, and when you get done, you do have some questions you need to answer. You have 5 comprehension questions, which are your exit ticket for the day. Make sure you take time to read each one. If you have text boxes, please make sure you go back and give me detailed answers in your text boxes by using text evidence. And make sure you answer both parts of the question if there are 2 parts. Once you're finished with your assignment, you may go back and work on your iReady reading and your iReady math minutes. And also, if you're in Mr. Snyder's homeroom, please make sure you take time to go back and finish week 4 of your social studies that was given last week. So you had last week and this week to finish that social studies assignment. If you have questions, please reach out to your teachers. We're here to help you out if needed. Thank you very much for participating in week 6 of our Day 2 learning.